Okay, so story time about how my boyfriend cheated on me with my best friend. It is literally awful the amount of story times that I hear or that I read that are like, oh my god, I had you know what with my best friend's boyfriend, or my boyfriend cheated with my best friend. It's like, where is the loyalty? Clearly not in the room with us. I have no hope for humanity at all, or anybody's relationships. Anyway, so a little background information. I was 24 years old and in college, and I had always been super thankful that my best friend Shannon and my boyfriend Eric got along really well. We had that super cliche friend group slash relationship where Shannon was single, so all three of us would hang out. We went on trips together. We even would spend the holidays together. Like, Shannon would just kind of tag along and we didn't mind having her there at all. And Eric didn't mind Shannon being there either because he understood that she was like a sister to me. Anyway, so the one night Shannon calls me and she starts telling me about how she's having some troubles with this guy that she just started dating. I was very surprised at this because I had no idea that she was even seeing anybody. Like, her and I usually tell each other everything. But me being the supportive best friend that I am, I asked her if she wanted to talk about it over drinks or over dinner so that way I could help her and find out more about the whole situation. So, you know, fast forward, we meet up that same night, and from what Shannon had told me, her and her man have only been dating for a few weeks now. Now, red flag number one, she refused to tell me his name or how she met him.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
She only told me that they had been really good friends for a while. Personally, I felt like it was a little bit odd that Shannon didn't want to tell me more about this new boyfriend, but you know, I respected her privacy. Well, according to her, this guy was in love with her, right? And he wanted to commit to her, but he couldn't because he was still in a relationship with his girlfriend, yes. And he didn't know how to break it off with her. So when I expressed my disapproval about Shannon dating somebody else's man, her excuse was that her boyfriend, the other girls, wasn't satisfied in his relationship anyways.
Side eye. Side eye.
Like, oh, that makes it all okay then, Shannon. That just makes it so good. You're fine, honey. Keep going. Really, Shannon? Really? Ugh, I just can't with people. Anyways, as lame as that excuse was, I tried to be supportive of my friend because I wanted her to be happy. Last time I do that. Anyways, over the next few weeks, she would come to me for advice about this guy, and I would try to help her out as much as I possibly could because I could see how in love she was with this guy. Besides, she told me that he was super close to breaking up with his girlfriend, so I was happy this whole thing was gonna be over soon. I know. Just keep listening. I really hope that things would work out for her in the end. So I just kept telling her, hang in there, it'll happen for you. And this is just comical. My dumbass tells her, well, he must not love his girlfriend if he's considering breaking up with her to be with you. So if you really love him, just wait until he's ready. Now, I wanted Eric's opinion on Shannon's situation, but every time that I brought it up, he would just look super uncomfortable and change the subject right away. Which obviously I'm just gonna brush that off because I didn't expect it to be him. The f***? Now listen, I don't know about y'all, but I think the embarrassment and betrayal of this whole situation would be worse than finding out that my man is in love with somebody else. And I know y'all are probably like, oh, you're just saying that, you've never been in that situation. Listen, I have been cheated on, okay? The embarrassment hurts worse. It's like you couldn't even be secretive about it. Now everybody knows. It's fucking embarrassing. Y'all, I need to go outside and tan a little bit. I'm looking a little bit ghostly. My skin tint isn't even matching my skin anymore. Like, anyway, so like I said, I brushed it off because I did not want to involve my boyfriend in Shannon's personal issues. Well, also around this time, I started realizing that Eric, for some reason, was never available to hang out whenever I would invite him places with Shannon and I. In fact, whenever I told him that I was gonna go out with her, he would look super annoyed and tell me that I'm spending way too much time with her, which was super odd for him to say because, like I said, all three of us were like best friends. But what did I do? I brushed it off. Y'all, listen to me. At this point, we need to stop brushing things off because this is getting fucking ridiculous. Actually, you know what? Hold on a minute. All right, this class is in session. Pay attention.
Stop the cap.
Today's lesson is on why he ain't your man.
No. No.
We're gonna run through some scenarios, okay? Because we cannot be out here falling for the lies and tricks that these men feed to us. The manipulation, we're done. No, take notes, and yeah, that's all. Situation number 1, your man calls you and he's like, what is he not? Your man. I know you're probably asking, well, why does that mean he's not my man?
Why? Why?
Because who else besides you is taking his breath away, huh?
At what point does this make any sense?
Exactly. He's a cheater. He's a liar.
You're just like a whore.
And most importantly, he is not your man. Now, this next scenario is a little bit tricky, okay? But stay with me. Stay with me. First, let's get this shit off here.
Oh my God.
Those of you in the back better be taking notes, okay? I'm being fucking serious.
Who the fuck are you talking to?
All right, now, say your man goes to the grocery store, right? He told you earlier that he was gonna get chocolate milk.
Oh, hell no.
And then he comes home with strawberry milk instead of the chocolate milk. Why did he do this?
What was the reason? What was the reason?
Was it A, he wanted to try strawberry milk? B, there was no more chocolate milk? C, you called and said you wanted strawberry milk instead of chocolate milk? Or is it D, none of the above? Now, if you chose D, you are correct. And if you chose any of the other ones, pay attention. Now, why does him getting strawberry milk instead of chocolate milk make him not your man?
I don't even want to do no research on that shit.
Duh, because this shows he's not committed to a decision that he makes, and his word means nothing. He lied. That's it for today. Until next time, bye. Okay, so like I was saying before, he would get upset whenever I would hang out with her or talk to her, but I also started realizing that Eric and I were growing apart emotionally, but I just blamed it on the fact that he was super stressed out from work, until one afternoon, I'm going through all of the clothes that he left at my house over the past few months, because me being the good girlfriend that I am, I decided that I was going to wash all of his clothes and bring them to him, because I had literally a whole wardrobe of his clothes over my house. Well, as I was emptying the pockets, a couple of notes slipped out of the one pair of jeans, and I went and I picked them up and I go to read them, and almost instantly it felt like somebody had ripped my heart out, threw it on the ground and curb stomped it. Because the notes, they weren't notes, they were love letters from Shannon to Eric, my boyfriend, from my best friend. So I fall to the floor from literal shock.
And my head hit the wall.
And from reading these love notes, I find out that Eric and Shannon are in love with each other. And in these letters, they were planning to be together. In like one of the letters, Shannon expressed how guilty she felt about lying to me and betraying me. Like, thank you, Shannon. I really appreciate that. Fucking bitch. But honestly, I was more angry than sad, because how could the two most important people in my life do me so dirty? So obviously I knew I had to cut ties with them at this point. But first, I wanted some answers, because what the actual f***? So I eventually get Shannon and Eric to meet me at a coffee shop the next day. Eric came up with 1,000,010 excuses as to why he couldn't join Shannon and I for coffee, but I told him that it was super important and it couldn't wait. And then of course Shannon keeps pressing me about what I had to say, but I was like, no, you're gonna have to wait until tomorrow. So fast forward to the next day, finally the time comes for me to confront my boyfriend and my best friend about what the fuck they've been doing behind my back. So when we all sit down, I waste absolutely no time at all. I immediately pull out the notes and place them in the middle of the table. Shannon's face turned white as a ghost, and Eric looked like he wanted to jump out of a window.
Got him!
And to my surprise, instead of me jumping across the table and trying to fight both of them, I calmly say to them, we all know what these are, and I want to know what's going on. It was clear that I caught them by surprise, because the only thing that Shannon could say was, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And then Eric's excuse was he had been waiting for the right time to break up with me. And then he has the nerve to say, I'm really sorry you had to find out this way, but I don't think it's gonna work out between us. Like, yeah, but I think I gathered that from the fucking notes that I found in your pocket saying that you're in love with somebody else and not me. To be more specific, my best friend. So, you know, I asked them how they could betray me like this, and of course, neither of them could give me an answer. I expected that one. So I end up just telling both of them that they are pathetic and that I can't believe Shannon had the fucking nerve to come to me for relationship advice about my own boyfriend.
Everybody getting their ass whooped today. Everybody.
So with that, I ripped up those love notes threw them at them, and then walked out. Over the next couple days, obviously Eric stayed away from me, and Shannon's dumbass, on the other hand, would not stop trying to get me to talk to her. She kept apologizing and asking if there was any way that we could be friends again. Like, girl, be so for real. Being friends again is crazy. Like, how can this girl think that I even want to look at her ever again after what just happened? The nerve. Anyways, so, you know, I ignore all of her messages, and it's almost been a year since this happened. I'm no longer in touch with either of them. But I did end up hearing through the grapevine that they are no longer together because Shannon couldn't live with the guilt of screwing me over. Like, girlie, it's done and over with now. You might as well keep him. Like, don't use me as an excuse. Let's not do that now. I'm not gonna lie though, I was a little bit happy to hear that they weren't together anymore, because these two literally destroyed my trust so bad. I've even decided that the next time I'm in a relationship, I'm going to make sure that none of my female friends become more than even acquaintances with my boyfriend. And I'm gonna keep tabs on my boyfriend to make sure that he's not cheating on me behind my back. And listen, I know being paranoid is no way to live, but I do not think I could handle the same thing happening to me again. Okay, everybody, that is the end of story time number 1. Now on to story time number 2. Okay, story time about how I did the nasty with somebody else's boyfriend. Yep. Anyway, so a little background information. I was 15 years old and in 9th grade. But back in 6th grade, I met this boy who we're gonna call Darren. And you know, back then, him and I had a little crush on each other, but we were too scared to tell each other. So nothing ever came of it. Even though I don't know what would have came of that, because we were literally in 6th grade. Maybe a 2-day relationship, who knows? Anyways, so him and I kept in touch. Obviously, we weren't like besties, but you know, we would catch up here and there, and we would talk to other people as well. Well, fast forward to 7th grade. That was a pretty rough year for me. What happened, you might be asking? Well, I had been deemed the school thought because my news got sent around.
There's people that are dying.
And now all of these guys only wanted to do the nasty with me. The worst part is like, I was still super innocent, right? I only sent them because I really liked this kid. And it was one of those situations where I felt pressured to send them because I didn't want him getting bored of me and then breaking up with me or stop talking to me. Because if I'm not gonna send them, somebody else will. So yeah, worst mistake of my life. Anyways, fast forward to January of 2021. Darren puts on his Snapchat, girl best friend with a question mark. You're a hoe. Okay, like just say you want some pussy and get it over with. Anyway, so my lonely, desperate ass swipes up, and now him and I start talking. Now he did have a girlfriend at the time, but they ended up breaking up, which I'm thinking to myself, thank God, because bitch. I realized that I caught feelings for him real quick. But then a week later, what does he do? He goes and gets a girlfriend. Like, I just really felt like the universe was working against me in every single way possible. Anyway, so him and I continue to talk over the next 2 or 3 months, just not in the way that I was hoping we would be talking, if you know what I mean. But during March, just before my 15th birthday, him and I had hung out at the park, and tell me why this man literally kissed me. And then he says to me, I've been waiting 3 years to do that. Like, oh, okay. Pretty funny that you say that because you had a girlfriend every other freaking week. But obviously I wasn't thinking this at the time. So yes, him and I made out. And I know y'all are wondering, well, did he have a girlfriend at this time? He did. And yes, I knew it was wrong, but did I care? No, the answer is no, not really. Now see, this situation right here is what I would call a they problem, right? Because meaning him and his girl collectively have some things that they need to work on within their relationship. That does not involve me. As far as I'm concerned, I'm perfect. They have the issues, not me. Besides, I wasn't friends with this girl, so I owed her no loyalty. Sorry, bae. Anyways, so fast forward a week after my birthday, I decided to invite Darren over, where my very strict and very, very, very religious family and I lived. But I didn't really care about the rules, so that whole no sex before marriage thing, totally out the window. I did not care. Like, it's the 21st century. That doesn't apply to us. Anyway, so he ended up bringing his friend with him, but Darren and I ended up going in the other room, and we did the thing. We did. And then that whole week his friend was hitting me up, so I ended up inviting his friend over that weekend, but his friend and I literally just made out. We didn't do anything else. Well, fast forward a month, Darren came over for the second time. Well, the second and last time. And you know, of course, we do the nasty. And after he left, I was feeling super insecure because I really liked him, but he wouldn't leave his girl for me. So me being upset and emotional, what do? I threaten him. I tell him that either he's gonna break up with his girlfriend or I'm gonna tell her everything. And then guess what he did? He blocked me. Yep. And when I say he blocked me on everything. He blocked me on his socials. He blocked me on her socials. Like, he was not playing games with me at all. But it's like, if you love your girl that much, why are you doing shit with me?
I know I be doing some fucked up things. What I do? But you did a fucked up bird thing.
That's the real question here. Like, be so for real. But to be honest, I think she found out right away because they broke up literally 2 days later. But fast forward, both of them are super on and off still. And to be honest, I don't really think about him too much anymore because I have a new man and he is literally better than Darren in every single way possible. Even better in bed. Moral of the story, y'all, it is not about the size of the boat, it's about the motion in the ocean. I'm just kidding. That was a quote that was left at the end of this story time. Okay, y'all, that is the end of story time number 2. Now on to story time number 3. Story time about how my boyfriend cheated on me and the girl tried to get her cousin to fight me. So a little background information, I was 14 and in 9th grade, and one of my friends had sent me a picture of my boyfriend, who we are going to call Julio, with another girl. And my boyfriend and I are neighbors, so I told him to meet me outside so we could talk about this. Well, I didn't tell him what it was about, but whenever we went outside, I confronted him and I was like, why are people sending me this picture of you with another girl? Like, are you cheating on me or something? Now, let me tell y'all something, okay? And this doesn't just go for the ladies. This goes for everybody watching, okay? Never ask somebody to their face if they are cheating on you. Never. Now, if you have physical evidence, like proof of them cheating, yeah, ask them to see if they'll lie about it, duh. Like, we all have to do that. But if you do not have physical proof, do not ask them if they are cheating on you. Like, the whole entire reason that they are cheating on you is because they want to eat their cake and have it too. Like, I was reading this thing and a general study was done on infidelity, and this is recent, it was in 2023. You have a less than 85% chance of your partner admitting that they cheated on you. Also, if you're even questioning rumors that your significant other is cheating on you, y'all probably shouldn't be together because you should not have any feeling of doubt or any feeling at all that these rumors might be true. Anyways, so I confront him, and just like any other person who wants to eat their cake and have it too, he has a long list of explanations and excuses. He's like, oh my gosh, absolutely not. That girl is crazy. That picture's from a long time ago when her and I were dating.
Hey, that's pretty good.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, that is actually one of the smarter excuses I've heard, because at that point you're gonna be like, oh, okay, they used to be in a relationship. You're not gonna ask her. Like, that's weird, at least to me. I don't want anything to do with anybody's ex-girlfriends.
Fuck no. And I'ma stand on that.
So that excuse you could actually probably get away with. Anyways, so fast forward a few months, him and I are still together, but I decided to send that girl that was in the picture with him a friend request on Facebook, and she accepts it, and somehow I managed to start a conversation with her and we start talking, and then she posts a story tagging who? My boyfriend. Yep. So then I kindly asked her if she's dating him, and then she goes, that's none of your fucking business. So me, on the other hand, you know, still trying to be the calm one because there's no reason to be hasty about the situation. I tell her that him and I have been dating and that I think he's cheating on me with her. So then for literally no reason at all, her and I get into a very heated argument when, like, girly, the whole point of this was not to argue. I just want to know if my man is cheating on me with you. Like, I hate when the side pieces get an attitude. Like, girl, the chances are after I find out that he's cheating on me with you, you can just have him. Because I am not a fucking raccoon and I do not dig out the fucking garbage, and he is garbage. Absolutely not. Anyway, so after a few hours, I end up calling my man, who was low-key never even my man in the first place, and I kicked his ass to the curb. And he got mad that I messaged this girl. You know what I hate even more than the side piece getting mad whenever you confront them? When your boyfriend gets mad at you for catching him cheating. Like, yes, baby, I went through your phone, slash texted that girl, slash. Like, cry about it to the side hoe, not me, because I do not have time to deal with that. Go emotionally manipulate somebody else and leave me the f alone. Anyway, so fast forward to Sunday, and yes, I am putting lip liner on my eyes. Mind your business. The next day, a girl shows up at my ex house. Little side note, I was not allowed to date boys, and I was not allowed to have any social medias whatsoever. So I'm getting super nervous that this girl's gonna try to come to my house and start something with me while my mom was outside of my house. So, you know, I call my best friend, I update her on everything that's been going on, and you know, she's reassuring me that everything's gonna be okay. Well, fast forward to the next day, my best friend comes over to my house at around 7:30 at night, and there was a car sitting in the middle of the road, very close to my house. And my best friend saw this before me, and she kept telling me that we needed to leave. But you know, my dumbass was like, no, we're not going anywhere, blah, 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 blah. It's nothing. Well, it was something. Like, my best friend must have very good intuition or very good eyesight, because the girl who went over to my ex's house pulled up on us. And she got out of the car and tried to fight me. Yeah, she literally tried to fight me. And I could literally hear my ex in the car saying, no, just leave her alone. She's not worth it. And yeah, it turns out that that girl was the cousin of the girl that he was cheating on me with. Look at him, classy, keeping it in the family. Go off, sis. No, but I didn't know it was her cousin until the girl that he was cheating on me with finally snapped out of her delusion, because she found out that she was getting cheated on by my ex with her cousin. Anyway, so her and I talk, and she's like, listen, if she tries to pull up on you again, let me know and I'll come and I'll beat her ass. Well, fast forward, that girl ended up having a baby at 16 or 17. And I don't know if it's his or not, because after a few weeks, she stopped coming around. And the girl that I originally had beef with, well, actually, let me rephrase that. The girl who originally had beef with me started dating my ex again. Him and I haven't talked since that day, but when he sees me, he literally always stares at me. And he sees me like every day, duh, because we're neighbors. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm still in love with him, but that is the way life goes. Okay, everybody, that is the end of today's Storytime Smash Sunday. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up.